That time again, it is already week 6. Slow down, man. We wait all year for this, brother. Come on.
I know.
All right, week 6 already of our Big Ten confidence picks, and only 5 games this week here. Steve Deace alongside my co-host on Bigger Ten, Aaron McIntyre. We are going head-to-head, and the loser facing utter and total humiliation. Aaron, you're keeping up with how we're doing so far this year. What's the latest?
Next week will be our next yearly checkup. This one will just be a review of last week. You got Illinois over Charlotte, Michigan State, Penn State, missed Wisconsin over Michigan at the 5 spot. They came back to bite you in the butt. Just a spoiler alert there. Nebraska over Northwestern, Iowa over Maryland, Ohio State over Rutgers, and Minnesota over Purdue. Meanwhile, I had Ohio State over Rutgers in the 8 spot, Penn State over Indiana at 7, Nebraska over Northwestern at 6, Minnesota at the 5 spot, Iowa and Maryland at the 4 spot, Illinois over Charlotte at the 3 spot, Western Kentucky over Michigan State. I put it number 2. That was the only kind of bold prediction that I made. And then at the 1 spot, the least confident game, I had Wisconsin over Michigan. Now, if my homeschool math skills are right, this means I actually beat you this week.
Yeah, you gained 2 points on me.
31 points to my 33 points.
Yep.
So this is the second time, I think, this season that I've beat you, but you're still ahead by like 10 points, I think, on the year. But we'll review that. We'll review that next week. This week, you want to go through yours?
We can do that. Shouldn't take long. This is the easiest game to pick this week. Maryland is Ohio State without Ohio State's running backs and just a different level of talent. I think Ohio State can name its score on Saturday. I think you're looking at the typical, Maryland got smashed in the mouth in Big Ten play and then watch them shut it down the rest of the way. I think you're looking at that. I'm going to go with my 4-point game because remember, there's only 5 games this week, folks. I'm going to take Iowa over Penn State. I think the home field is going to matter huge here, and I think that Penn State will not be able to run enough that they are now behind schedule and have to throw when Iowa wants them to, as opposed to when they want to. My 3-point game this week is I'll take Michigan over Nebraska. It is a huge letdown spot for the Wolverines, although I'm not sure where you let down after last year's disaster. I just don't know that you can be as emotionally up 2 weeks in a row. So, but in the end, you have 2 teams here. One has played some of the cleanest football in college football, and the other doesn't. So I think in the end, that probably leads to about a touchdown win here for Michigan. I'm going to take Michigan State over Rutgers as my 2-point game, but I think this is a very high variance game. I think it's a game Michigan State could win 31-10, or Rutgers could win 27-24. And my number 1 game this week, speaking of high variance, I have no idea what to expect out of Wisconsin. I don't know who will be the quarterback. I don't know who will be healthy. I don't know what the psyche of the program is right now. And, they're going up against their old coach, and a lot of these same Illinois players beat these guys in their stadium 2 years ago. I don't think they'll be intimidated. I think the opening line of that game, barely a touchdown. It's just situationally, I just don't know where Wisconsin is at right now. So, sometimes you can do these things where you can bet what are called alternate lines. Mm-hmm. And you look at that if you think you have a high variance game, because sometimes you get like plus 300 odds on some of these. Yeah. If you can find like an Illinois minus 3 or 4 as an alternative line, and it's like plus 280 or plus 350.
Good value.
I'd probably put $20 or something on that, because I think every possibility from 31-0 Wisconsin to Illinois beating them again is on the table in that one. That's why it's only my 1-point game.
That's good handicap there. I'm with you on Ohio State over Maryland. I mean, watching that Iowa-Maryland game, it was fun because I'm an Iowa fan, but it reminded me so much of that Penn State-Maryland game from 2-3 years ago, where they just got their pants blown off of them in a sold-out crowd, and it was over by the middle of the second quarter. So that's my 5-point game. I'm actually more bullish on Wisconsin right now. I'm just not sure if Illinois has what it takes to on offense to move the ball consistently against Wisconsin. I actually think a change at quarterback could be welcome for Wisconsin as well. So I think they could actually get up early on Illinois, and then again, defense like a bully on the playground, just taking Illinois and sitting on them. I think that's going to be their game plan. My 3 spot, I actually have Rutgers over Michigan State. I talked about this yesterday on Bigger 10. I think I'm actually going to bet Rutgers money line this week. I just don't know if Michigan State is good enough to be as good as they have looked for a long period of time. So I'm starting to fade Michigan State in my picks, as you can see last week as well. My 2 spot, I've got Michigan over Nebraska. That's going to be a snake pit. We're going to see if Michigan can sustain that opening salvo, if there is one from Nebraska as well. Because I will say, if Michigan's not up by a score or 2 by end of the first quarter, middle of the second quarter, I think it's game on in Lincoln. And then my 1 spot, this is just, if nothing more than an emotional hedge, I've got Penn State over Iowa.
There are several high variance games, I think, this week. Yeah, no doubt. So it should be interesting. All right, good stuff. We're back at it again next week right here on the channel with both Michigan Podcast and Bigger 10. Follow us on Twitter at Michigan Podcast, at Bigger 10. Remember, 5-star review, like, rate, subscribe, follow, share, etc. Please keep helping us find more and more fans just like you. For Aaron McIntyre, I'm Steve Deace. Enjoy the games.